Welcome to Bear's Touch Intuitive. I pulled in a Universal Truths card, and the energy of today's reading is cooperation. We're just going to jump right in. Cooperation was the original blueprint for our world. In fact, the word for competition in Latin was competitur, which means or meant to seek with. Cooperation affirms a happier life enriched with the blending of souls. It creates a much vaster destiny for ourselves because there's a greater good for all involved. Cooperating with others creates a unified team whereby everyone is honored for their individuality. Team means together each accomplishes more. According to this deck, I like the little sayings on it. Immersing ourselves in this energetic force field becomes our spiritual lattice. Our once considered competitors become our community. This movement eliminates loneliness, and instigates loveliness. Our cooperative spirit pollinates unity, and from this unity grows peace. Remember, cooperation is the operation to develop a world void of separation. So, the energy to start us off for this reading today is cooperation, which came up in the reading yesterday and involves essentially like whoever you were competing with, maybe at work, or even maybe some version of yourself, friends, family, I'm getting siblings, a sister. Cooperation is only going to reinforce your own comfortability within yourself, reinforce your own like energetic force field essentially, and help you to energies. So I don't know why that's coming up, but it is. And if you have an opportunity to be cooperative in a way that doesn't necessarily like, don't let your boundaries be overrun. I think Scorpios can sometimes just, we can be soft-shelled beings before our exoskeletons come back. Hold your boundaries in terms of like what it is that you need to be comfortable or to be happy or to be loved, whatever that is, but learn to cooperate through. So instead of maybe communicating in a way that is like the swords, like lopping people's heads off, or being sharp or stabby, picture that energy of that I think it's the Five of Wands, where everybody's kind of using their wands to battle, but it's in play. So the card coming out today right now is Flow. Card 20. This is a really cool card. She's like playing with an energy ball of water here. Water was an important part of yesterday's reading. It is receptive to sound, to vibration. It has a memory, and there's a Japanese scientist, Dr. Emoto, which I think is cool because of the word emote or emotion, which is water's symbolic tarot meaning. Dr. Emoto did studies on water, looking at the chemical structure of a atom, I think, or a cell of water after it's been exposed to a word. So the crystalline structure of water's cells after being exposed to like love, for example, is going to be prettier than something exposed to the like microwaves. Jumping right in. Okay. You might be 20 years old. 2 might be an integral part of your spiritual like number system right now, like the number for duality. You're in a flow state, just kind of going with the flow. Again, you might be 50, you might be 25, you might be 52. Number 10. So you're completing a cycle that has to do with abundance or reaping the harvest of your abundance. The ability for you, rather, to go with the flow, to be in flow state, which means to be in the present moment. It means to understand that wherever you're at is where you're supposed to be as the day goes on. If, say, a car cuts you off in traffic and it slows you down, it might be helping you to avoid, I don't know, colliding with somebody going 120 miles an hour on the freeway. Maybe you just missed it by like 30 seconds because of that person cutting you off. It's knowing that you're in the timing of the divine plan and that all is well no matter what's happening. It's being able to transmute what appears to be inconvenient or negative in the moment and see it as part of a bigger picture, which indicates also the spiral. As we move into the spiral, it's like you're seeing the bigger picture of the universal, like, cosmic unfolding of creation. And maybe even on a smaller level, like, you're not letting yourself like spiral out of control. Like, you might have been the kind of person once before who got into a flow and saw synchronicities. I've met people who've, like, say, done a retreat and done ayahuasca, or there was one girl in particular I can think of who went to Burning Man one year, and she came back and at work she was just like in a spiral. Like, she couldn't get her spiritual, like, out of her mind sort of self back into the regular flow of our 3D, like, functional reality. So instead of spiraling out of control, what I'm seeing here is that, like, you're able to be in the flow with these signs and synchronicities with your divine plan. You see yourself as, like, in the flow of this time unfolding here, and this is completing for you the cycle of what may have been lack consciousness before. You're drawing in abundance, you're drawing in nourishment, especially during this season, August through September, like Virgo season. This is the time of the harvest, and corn in completion here is a really nice energy for your incoming futures. There's also these crows in the background, and you know, farmers will put up scarecrows in their, like, cornfields to keep the crows away. So you might be working on, like, protecting your energy from any, I don't know, negative influences. I was reading something the other day in Money is an Energy Game. It's this book, Money is an Energy Game, by Margaret Donahue and Madeline Gerwick, which talks about how the energy of negative influences or negative thoughts on like a quantum level is actually more influential from a distance. So when you're thinking about something or someone negatively and they're out of, like, your sight or your energy field, that energy is actually amplified by distance. Whereas when you think about something positively, it's a stronger, like, quantum influence if you're near the thing you're thinking positively about. So this could also apply to, like, your thoughts. If you feel like, as far as abundance goes, it's far away from you, then your negative thoughts about your belief systems regarding abundance is actually amplified. Whereas if you sort of picture yourself in an energy of abundance, even if it just means, like, writing that down or having some sort of visualization of what abundance means to you and actually spending time in that thought process, it's bringing abundance closer because you're in that thought process. Your brain can't really, like, differentiate between you really viscerally imagining something or actually experiencing it. Like, if you were to play a VR game, for instance, there's this incredible feeling of, like, having disappeared from the world. So you're being encouraged to really use your powers of visualization and manifestation to sit in an energy of abundance, because that is bringing you, like, on the spiral basically to the plane of existence, as these things are, that holds your abundance, or bringing that plane of existence rather to you. I like to picture this spiral also as one of those, like if you've ever seen, it's like a marble, and there's like a coil that goes one way and a coil that goes another way, and the marble holds still, but as the wind blows, it's like a wind chime kind of looking thing. As the wind blows and the coils, it spins, it looks like the marble is like going up the coil or down the coil, depending on which way it turns, but it's not going anywhere. It's just an illusion. So I like to imagine our consciousness, or like ourselves basically, like one of those like marbles on that wind chime spiral. And what you're manifesting or what you're picturing in your vibration makes it look kind of like you're going towards that thing because you're imagining it, but you're the marble and you're not going anywhere, and it's just like spiraling to you on this sort of cosmic illusion, I guess, of this consciousness in a reality. I don't know. I'm getting some pretty out there messages today, so whoever's listening, good on ya. I'm glad that you're studying some crazy stuff. I guess we'll clarify with the tarot, maybe try and get some more grounded messages. I've been feeling, since we've been tapping into the energy of people who are experiencing like awakenings or spiritual awakenings, the energy has been pretty like existential or cosmic, and it's nice to get some grounded like action steps. Again, a grounded action step for you today for this reading is just to really practice visualization in any moment that you get. Like if you're waiting in line at the store and you just picture yourself being able to afford all of your groceries without hesitation, like what other groceries would you get, or what other groceries are you buying, and just kind of like spend time in that instead of like just being bored in line, you know. This one wants to come out. Four of Wands reversed may indicate a separation either from community or from a marriage. Indicate, so we have cooperation here, like this separation from community might literally be like some sort of, okay, Three of Pentacles reversed. Okay, it might be some kind of like workplace environment spat where you don't want to, or this other person doesn't want to like make up at work, whatever that is, or whatever you're working on. Like one of you has an idea and the other one has another, and you want to go two different directions. But this is telling me that cooperation is going to help put you in this flow state. Basically, it's in resistance, or separation from this work environment entirely is going to maybe jettison you into this flow state of like finding where it is you're supposed to be. I don't know why work is coming through. So we have Pentacles. Maybe it's because I asked for something grounded. The Three of Pentacles reverse indicates the is to mastery. You might be a master of your craft and feeling like you can't express yourself or use your gifts wherever it is that you're at. And this is actually putting you in a state of imbalance regarding your security and your finances. Not to, what I'm hearing is juggle your values. So if you're having to compromise too many of your values in order to stay where you're at or do what you're doing, you're being called to really faithfully follow this flow into a new spiral of abundance. Two of Wands reverse means, to me, it means that you're running from something in yourself. It means maybe that you have achieved on paper what looks good, especially as this is like, it's seeming to be a career reading for some reason. Somebody out there is having some sort of like workplace, you wanting to maybe totally change your career or go out on your own. Resistant to going out on your own. because this career pays well. And it might pay well communally. This guy has just had a feast and there's all these cups behind him. It may also indicate that while he's quite happy and he's feasted before and he's going to feast again, there's an idea of security, there's an idea of community here. But 9 is also a card of like almost completion. So it's like you're unwilling to close out the cycle of this emotional contentment, like not being at this job or having this security has brought enough emotional contentment that maybe you've like juggled some of your values in order to like stay there, but you've wound up sort of internally feeling alone and you want to sort of go through. We have 2 and 4 again. These cards came out yesterday, but in the upright position, as well as the 3 of Pentacles. That's pretty amazing. Red, yellow, and blue, which is indicating to me issues around security, your willpower, and your ability to speak up for yourself. So maybe in your workplace environment, you're sort of embracing security at the expense of, I think this card's also speaking to that as well, at the expense of being able to express yourself or like use your creative will or like your actual capabilities. It's almost like you're holding back. The Fool is encouraging a new leap of faith, a new perspective. This card also has blue, yellow, and red on it with green, heart healing, and a white dog and a white rose. So the white rose is the rose of truth. The rose can indicate Mother Mary. 0 indicates a sort of wholeness mentality, but also the ending of something. So 10 here indicating the ending of this like abundance cycle for you and the bringing in of a new one. The white dog can also mean that like this dog is kind of trying to encourage this guy not to walk off the cliff. Like it can also mean that entering into a flow state of like in this reading anyways, entering into this flow state will also require you to be very, very honest with yourself about not just what it is that you want, but about your capabilities, about what it is that you need, your human nature. Like what does your nature require like for these seeds to be sown? And again, the energy of this reading is cooperation. How can you cooperate? And this says take the leap of faith. Reverse. Going out on your own or doing something on your own is going to leave you feeling like there's a lot of work to do or a big hike to make or like a lot for you to leave behind you. And with the moon here, or the eclipse is what it looks like. Emotionally, this is going to be very taxing. And with the Hermit reverse, what I'm seeing is that you've sort of gone through your dark night of the soul, your spiritual awakening, put yourself into alignment and like done your healing. And this has brought you out of your community, out of your workplace, or out of the energy of whatever this like workplace spat might be, and into you need to move forward on your own gifts, your own willpower with your voice. Maybe again, water is like sound healing, so you might, I don't know, want to be a singer, or you might want to be a speaker, or you might want to start a podcast, and you're having some overthinking energy about this, especially as it relates to coming out of your hermit energy, like wanting to stay in your hermit energy so that you don't like maybe spiral out of control or feel like you're going to waste too much emotional energy, like joining community and cooperating with whoever or whatever you might need to cooperate with to achieve this goal. What is this? Scorpio, this like matter around which cooperation is needed. And what is this like coming out of this Hermit energy, this Fool undoing the Hermit? I want to know. So this is indicating burden, sacrifice. It's also indicating your religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs, like the pressures of being put on you. Something coming to light. Happiness. You might be 31, you might be 36. You have 51 cross and the sun on top of your 2 of Pentacles reversed and your 8 of Cups reversed. Like this abundance coming towards you was a cycle that you would never be rid of. Like it was like you were in a cycle where you weren't getting the abundance that you wanted, or you weren't seeing the returns on something that you were trying to manifest. And that might be why this like workplace lack of cooperation, or you needing to separate from this workplace, is occurring. Like you're seeing that you're not giving to where you need to give, or like watering the right seeds at the right time of day or something to like create this harvest. And this is telling me a new leap of faith, a new journey, and the sacrifice and sort of pressures of that journey are going to bring you happiness in this new cycle. This is in this deck? No, the 9 of Pentacles. Holding something over you. I don't know what that might be, except that this person is in an energy of like they're holding this ace and this jack, this ace of spades and this jack. The jack in the Lenormand deck anyways can indicate a sort of vicious or like trickstery man without good intentions. The devil reversed in this deck, there's a woman, like her sort of nature, her regular nature is blending in with this tree in the background and holding her shoulder, like she's being given the cold shoulder. Her actual true nature is being given the cold shoulder. Somebody might be holding something over you and like wanting to part of themselves, or like you're wanting them to embrace a better part of themselves, which is why I see this 5 is also reversed, the energy of change. Like they're resistant to that, and they'd rather hold on to their jewels and keep their cards close than to actually work with you. And that's also why this workplace spat came up. Like somebody is just not willing to sort of be their better selves, and this has put you in a energy of not wanting to like cooperate or be in community with others because it's put a lot of burden on you. But you're being encouraged to enter into a new cycle, to go with the flow, enter the spiral again, and reap your abundance. And this person who thinks that they have like something over you, or who's holding your cards close, they won't be able to keep you in an energy of overthinking for very long. And in fact, you offering up the cup of like cooperation, with this yellow butterfly indicating transformation, not only of your throat chakra, but of your willpower in order to like heal, will bring you vision, clarity, enlightenment, and it'll display that there's like this rainbow coiled snake back here, like which indicates the dreaming, the dream world, the ability to like manifest any sort of picture of consciousness. This can also sort of be seen as the rainbow snake, like creation, spiraling. You're going to be in an energy of like basically taking the higher road, of being the stronger person who's also like coming from a good place and a kind heart and truth and purity. And this person who's been trying to hold something over you is going to be seen as sort of like the trickster, maybe even devil energy that they are. Yeah, so you're still sort of in a hanged man energy where like you feel like you're having to make a sacrifice in order to cooperate here, but the sacrifice that you're making is being seen, and it's actually like elevating you and your persona and your personality in this situation in the eyes of others as well as yourself. One more card with the Page of Wands upside down at the bottom, the Emperor reverse. Yeah, so the Emperor is somebody who like wants control of a situation. There's somebody who's been trying to control your situation, and that is being undone. While they're trying to hold on to control, like it can be seen that they're not doing the right thing, and you've made a sacrifice, you've been enduring, you gained wisdom, you've been in your own like space, you've taken this new path, you're in the flow, in the spiral, reaping abundance, and you're still in an energy of being able to like offer up cooperation, and that just like brings you into some major boss energy is what I'm seeing. So that's all I have for you today, Scorpios. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you may do so on my Etsy, which is linked in the description box. And otherwise, I will see you later. Thank you. Bye.